Hello everyone, I'm Tex, a Japanese marathon coach. Today's topic is why you can't hold race pace. Have you ever wondered why some runners can hold their race pace all the way to the finish, while others fall apart halfway through? They might have similar mileage, they might have similar fitness, but one runner can keep moving fast, while the other slowly fades. So, what's the difference? It's something I call speed endurance. The ability to hold your speed when your body wants to slow down. And that's exactly what today's workout is designed to improve. Over the last two videos, we've built the foundation. First, easy running helped us train more. Then, steady running built a stronger aerobic engine. Those two are the reason you can recover faster, run more consistently, and become a stronger endurance runner. But if you're serious about improving your race time, there's still one final piece missing. You need to teach your body how to use that engine at race pace. That's where hard running comes in. Some runners call it threshold running. Others call it tempo running. The exact name isn't important. What matters is the purpose. This workout teaches your body to keep producing race pace even when it starts getting uncomfortable. In other words, it teaches you to hold your speed. What exactly is hard running? The definition is actually very simple. Hard running is exactly what it sounds like. You run at an effort that feels hard, not easy, not comfortable. But here's the mistake many runners make. Hard does not mean all out. If you finish every workout completely exhausted, lying on the ground, unable to imagine doing it again next week, you probably ran too hard. That's not productive training. That's simply accumulating fatigue. Instead, finish with just a little left in the tank, maybe 10%, enough that you know. If I had to do this again next week, I could. That's a sweet spot because training isn't about proving how tough you are today. It's about becoming stronger next month and next season. So, if hard running isn't about running to exhaustion, what exactly is happening inside your body? Why does this type of training improve your race performance so much? To answer that, we need to talk about something every distance runner has heard of, but very few truly understand: the lactate threshold. And don't worry, I'm going to explain it without making this feel like a biology class. What is the lactate threshold? You've probably heard the term before, lactate threshold. Many coaches describe it as the fastest pace you can sustain for about an hour. For many runners, that's somewhere around half marathon pace. That's the usual guideline, but I think there's a simpler way to understand it. Think of your body as having two engines. The first is your aerobic engine. This is the engine you've been building with easy running and steady running. It's efficient, it's reliable, and it can keep producing energy for a very long time. The second is your anaerobic engine. This one produces energy much faster, but it comes with a cost. It creates fatigue much more quickly. As long as your aerobic engine can keep up with the pace, everything feels under control. But once the pace becomes too demanding, your body has no choice. It starts calling on the anaerobic engine to help. That's when running begins to feel genuinely hard. Your breathing becomes heavier. Your muscles begin to burn. And suddenly, holding your pace becomes much more difficult. That's why hard running feels so different from steady running. You are no longer asking your aerobic system to work comfortably. You're asking it to operate right near its limit. So, why train there? At first, that might sound like a bad idea. Why would we deliberately train at a pace that creates fatigue? Because that's exactly what happens in racing. Whether you are racing at 5K, a half marathon, or even a marathon, there comes a point where your body starts asking, can we slow down now? Hard running teaches your body to answer, not yet. It teaches your aerobic system to work harder before it needs help, and when your anaerobic system finally joins in, it teaches your body to handle that stress more efficiently. Over time, that means you can run faster before fatigue begins to take control. That's what speed endurance really is, not just running fast, holding your speed when it gets hard. 3 ways hard running makes you faster. So what actually changes when you do this consistently? There are 3 major benefits. First, you raise your lactate threshold. In simple terms, you can run faster before fatigue starts building rapidly. A pace that once felt unsustainable gradually becomes comfortable, and a pace that used to feel impossible becomes your new normal. That's one of the biggest reasons race time improves. Second, you push your aerobic engine to a higher level. Remember, your aerobic system is still doing most of the work here. It's simply working much closer to its maximum capacity. That extra demand encourages your body to become even better at producing aerobic energy. The stronger your aerobic engine becomes, the faster you can run, without relying too much on your anaerobic system. And that's exactly what every distance runner wants. Third, you become a more efficient runner. One of the most underrated skills in distance running is running to stay relaxed while running hard. Anyone can look smooth when they're jogging. The real challenge is staying relaxed when you are pushing your limits. Hard running gives you the opportunity to practice exactly that. Week after week, your brain learns that running fast doesn't always require unnecessary tension. Your shoulders relax, your stride becomes smoother, your breathing becomes more controlled, and over time, you waste less energy at race pace. That's what we call running economy. And better running economy means more speed for the same effort. But there's one important rule. This only works if you leave yourself enough room to recover. Hard running should challenge you. It should never destroy you. Because every great workout has one goal: to make tomorrow's training possible, not impossible. So, how should you actually do hard running? Now that you understand why hard running works, let's talk about how to use it. The first question is, how often should you do it? For most runners, once a week is enough. In fact, for many amateur runners, one quality hard running session each week is all you need. Why? Because the workout creates a lot of stress. And remember, your body doesn't get stronger during the workout. It gets stronger while recovering from it. More isn't always better. Better is better. A simple weekly balance. If you run 5 days a week, here's a simple guideline. 2 easy runs, 2 steady runs, and 1 hard run. Of course, there are many ways to build a training plan, but for most runners, that's a very balanced starting point, because every workout has its own purpose. Easy running allows you to train consistently. Steady running builds your aerobic engine. Hard running teaches that engine to perform at race pace. Each session supports the others. None of them can replace the others? How fast should you run? The answer depends on your experience. If you're new to hard running, don't start with long distance. Start with about 5 kilometers or around 20 to 30 minutes of quality running. Get comfortable with the effort first, then, every few weeks, gradually extend the duration. Not because longer is automatically better, but because your body is adapting. You are earning the right to do more. For half marathon runners, being able to complete roughly 8 to 10 kilometers at this effort is an excellent goal. For marathoners, that might gradually grow to somewhere around 16 to 21 kilometers during specific phases of training. Notice I said during specific phases, not every week. Hard running is a tool, not a lifestyle. What about heart rate? If you use a heart rate monitor, a good target is roughly 85 to 90% of your maximum heart rate. Much higher than that, and you are probably turning today's workout into something completely different. Remember, the goal isn't to prove how hard you can suffer. The goal is to create the right training stimulus. There's a big difference. The most important rule. If there's only one thing I want you to remember, it's this. Never finish completely empty. Leave a little in the tank. Imagine, I asked you, can you repeat this workout next week? Your answer should be yes. If it's not, absolutely not. That's how long-term progress is built. Workout, recover, adapt, repeat. That's the cycle that makes great runners. Not one incredible session, hundreds of smart ones. And one more thing. A lot of runners think that if one hard run helps, then 2 must be even better. And 3 must be amazing. Unfortunately, that's usually where progress stops. Hard running creates fitness, but it also creates fatigue. And fatigue has a cost. Too much of it, and your easy runs become harder. Your steady runs lose quality. Your recovery slows down. And before long, every run feels difficult. That's not productive training. That's simply accumulated fatigue. The best runners don't train hard every day. They train hard on purpose. The goal isn't to win today. Here's something I tell my athletes all the time. Your goal isn't to win today's workout. Your goal is to race faster a month from now. That's a completely different mindset. Sometimes the smartest workout is one you finish wanting just a little more, because that's the workout you'll be able to repeat week after week, month after month. And that's exactly how speed is built. One final warning. Before we finish, there's one mistake I want you to avoid. And honestly, it's probably the biggest mistake amateur runners make. They start with hard running. They believe suffering is what makes them faster. So every week, they push harder, run faster, and leave every workout completely exhausted. It feels productive. It feels like they're improving, but over time, their progress slows down. Small injuries start appearing. Recovery gets longer, training becomes inconsistent, and eventually they stop improving altogether. Not because they weren't working hard enough, but because they skipped the foundation. Build in the right order. Think back to everything we've covered in this series. Easy running allows you to train more. More training creates more opportunities to improve. Steady running builds your aerobic engine. It gives you the endurance to handle harder training. Then, and only then, does hard running unlock your speed. That's the order. And the order matters, because speed without endurance doesn't last. Endurance without consistency never develops. Everything depends on what comes before it. This is a Tex running framework. If you've watched all 3 videos, I hope you can see that these aren't 3 separate workouts. There are 3 pieces of the same system. Each one has a different purpose. Each one supports the others. And together, they help you become the strongest runner you can be. So, wherever you're planning your training, remember these 3 lines. Easy running lets you train more, because consistency always comes first. Steady running builds your engine, because your aerobic system is the foundation of distance running. And hard running unlocks your speed, because eventually you have to teach that engine to perform on race day. That's the entire philosophy behind this channel. One last thought. If you take only one thing away from this video, let it be this. Don't chase hard workouts, chase long-term progress. The runners who improve the most aren't usually the ones who train the hardest. They're the ones who train the smartest. For the longest time, running rewards patience, it rewards consistency, and above all, it rewards runners who respect the process. So trust the process, build your engine, then unlock your speed. Okay, if you enjoyed this series, make sure you are subscribed. In the next videos, we've dived deeper into topics like long runs, interval training, marathon specific workouts, periodization and recovery, and more importantly, how they all fit into the Tex running framework. If you're serious about becoming a stronger runner, I think you're going to enjoy what's coming next. Thanks so much for watching. And keep training smart, keep building, and I see you in the next video. Lastly, if you want to get faster without injuries or overtraining, I recommend reading The 3 Factors You Should Know to Get Faster Dramatically Without Any Injuries and Overtraining. It was written by professional runner and coach Ikegami Hideyuki, the top Japanese finisher at the Osaka Marathon, and also he's my boss. If you are serious about improving, check the link below, okay? Alright, that's it for today. Until next time, happy running. Bye bye.